Hey guys, good morning. How are y'all doing? I'm gonna do a video today and talk to y'all about networking, okay? Because basically, y'all, that's Plexus. That's our business. We are network marketers, correct? We are. So you need to be networking all day long, every day, wherever you go. What is networking? I didn't have the slightest clue that I was networking with people through my whole life until I finally stopped and analyzed it when I became a Plexus ambassador. Okay, so we all come from different backgrounds, towns we grow up in, high schools we go to, colleges, community colleges, wherever we go, spouses, their friends, so on, kids and their friends, your jobs that you have. We all have different networks. Now, people who have more multiple networks, you might see them be more successful quicker in the business because they have put themselves in different places throughout the different categories and seasons of their life. It's just natural, and that's the way that kind of the cookie crumbles. Now, I'm not saying that you are somebody who's shy and reserved and been a stay-at-home mom for so long and shut yourself off from people that you won't be successful. No, I'm just telling you that you're going to have to go a different route about it, and it might take you just a little bit longer than others because you're going to have to kind of take back a step that others didn't have to do in the beginning. Okay, so networking. There is a method, a Frank's method, and I'm going to post that comment in the comments of this graphic under this video that when I post it. Frank's method is, F-R-A-N-K-S. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes over here. And the first one, F, is friends. When you are networking, think about all of your friends, close friends, inner circle friends, friends that you work out with, friends that you go to dinner with, friends that are couple friends, friends that are from a Bible study, friends that are everywhere, all people that you categorize in your life as friends. Those are people you should be networking with. And when I say networking, I don't mean like, hi, I'm on Plexus, you want to buy some? No, I mean like getting connections with them, talking to them in this normal kind of atmosphere conversation, and then one thing leads to another after maybe so many contacts or so many gets-togethers, and you're able to introduce Plexus because it comes natural. It's not this knock on the door, hey, you want to buy some Plexus? That's not what we're doing here. That's not the kind of networking I choose to run my business. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's not going to work in our industry for what we do. We build relationships with people, and we're make really good connections with people. The R in Frank's is relatives. Some of us have very small families, okay, and some of us have very big families. I'm somebody who have a big family. My parents got divorced when I was young, so I had two different sides of families, two step families, kind of that you would say. My mom's youngest of a lot of kids. I've got lots of cousins, things. So I have a bigger family network than some other people do. Some people only have one uncle and one cousin. That's just the way it works out. So their family and their relatives, might be a little bit harder category to reach, whatever that is. Think of distant relatives, cousins, people at the family get-togethers, holidays, the people that you might only see at the birthday parties. Count those people in your network. Those are people that need to be an ongoing list. When are you going to run into them? You know what? Maybe could you pick up the phone and rekindle that connection? I had to do that. Starting my Plexus business, I had some burdens with some cousins and some relatives. And you know what? I finally just said, because that was just the devil in my life, I finally said, why am I holding on to this? And I reached out to that two cousins in particular and told them, you know what? Whatever happened, happened. And, I'm over it. I'm excited for you. And you know what? One of them's now on Plexus, okay? So I didn't intend for her to get on Plexus, but it was like a year later, our relationship rekindled, and she was excited for me and ready to try. Let's look at the A in Frank's. Acquaintances. Okay, how many acquaintances do you run into? Okay, I have lots of people that I would call acquaintances more than I would call friends. I'm somebody who I love my friends. I love my friends dearly. But like for somebody to know my dirty laundry and to be into my home and part of my marriage and you know, things like that, I kind of put up a little bit of a fence because I've been hurt a lot by friends, or people that I thought were close friends. So I have a lot of acquaintances who I am building up really good relationships with, and I'm letting them in my inner circle to move into that friend category. But you have acquaintances everywhere. Your job. Not everybody in my job is somebody I want to go to dinner with, hang out with, and invite over to my house. But I care about them. They're my acquaintances, okay? They're people that I run into all the time. Even I went to the dentist 2 weeks ago. All those nurses and hygienists, I love them. They're super fun and great, and I've shared Plexus with them, and 2 of them are on Plexus with me. Would I consider them friends? No, because I'm not going to dinner with them, not hanging out with them. They're not invited to, you know, my niece's birthday party at our house or whatever the case may be, but they're acquaintances and there's somebody I can share Plexus with. So think outside of the box. People at your church community. Now, I have a lot of friends at my church, and a lot of them are acquaintances also that we haven't gotten that relationship quite to the friend mark, but they're people that I see on a you know, weekly basis and talk to on a weekly basis. They are my acquaintances. I love them dearly. We have people that I know through Dakota that he might have grown up with, or his family that, you know, they're more distant to me or whatever that is. They're acquaintances to me. They're somebody that I'm going to put on my ongoing Frank's list, and I'm going to network with them and reach out to them. Your neighbors, okay? Neighbors are people like, you know, we don't live in a neighborhood. Dakota and I don't, so this is a downfall for me. I don't have a lot of close neighbors. There's kids in the street, and you've got the bike riders and the nature trails and the playgrounds and the swimming pools in the neighborhood. This is going to be your market, okay? If you're a stay-at-home mom, get yourself to that park 2 to 3 times a week. Get yourself on that nature trail. You know, find the moms that are close by you. Hey, you know, I know my sister does this quite often, not even non-Plexus related, but they're like a neighborhood type of family. And they do like these neighborhood, they call them like driveway nights or whatever. And all the kids and the adults will get their lawn chairs and, you know, maybe get a mommy type of drink or whatever, and have little snacks for the kiddos. And they're running around in the driveway in the little cul-de-sac, and they've got their bikes and their scooters, and moms are mingling. She's met some really great friends by doing that. And honestly, so is her kid, my niece. And that's a way that they've networked and that they've grown relationships with people. If you are a neighborhood mom or couple, y'all, I envy you. This is an awesome network to have with people. These are people you live by. These are the people that when you lock your keys in the car, you know, you trust them. When your husband's out of town, you know, you trust them. Things like that. If you're in a neighborhood, I would really get involved in the people who are close by you. Get to know your street. Throw a little neighborhood street bash or something. Invite all the neighborhood, you know, street kiddos over. Go out of your comfort zone. And honestly, it's going to be good for you, who is the neighborhood mom or the neighborhood wife or whatever, to get plugged in with other girls or husbands that, you know, have similar hobbies and kids. I mean, I don't have kids. I am a classroom teacher, so I do know that's the importance of kids getting to be around other kids, and it's really big. No matter if your kid is, you know, 12 months, 3 years old, or 12 years old, you know, plug them in. This is a great way. So kids connections. Think about, are your kids involved in taekwondo, gymnastics, cheerleading, piano, Girl Scouts, soccer? What are they involved in? Maybe it's the musical theater in town. Well, during their practices, aren't you sitting along the sides with some other moms or dads or couples or whoever? I know a lot of moms who are cheer moms. That's just kind of like my little demographic of people. And I mean, that's a market. That is a big market of moms on the go. They are, you know, doing hairspray and makeup and driving long distances, and they're up at the crack of dawn and they're going to bed late. These are people who need Plexus. They do. Share it with them. You're with them in these casual conversations, and you share a common bound and a common interest. Your kid, cheerleading, basketball, volleyball, whatever that is. So that's kids connection. That's the K in Frank's method. This one is really big because you'll share that bond of your kids. And I think that's a bond that, you know, that I can't even describe because I'm not in that connection. So I don't have that part of Frank's. So I've kind of replaced that with kids connection as like parents kids connection of people I know through my school because of my kids. And it's worked. You know, I got some moms on Plexus. I've got some moms asking me questions, you know, things like that, introducing that, kind of getting that going around in my school with, because of my kiddos. So definitely, if the category doesn't apply to you, add a category for yourself. Where are you at? Okay. Your spouse's connections. This is your S. Guys, this one has been huge for me. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Sorry, I've had a sore throat the past few days. This one has been huge for me. Now, if you'd have asked me in the beginning, Jill, could Dakota get you any networks with Plexus? I've been like, no. Dakota moved far off away from his hometown. We hardly ever go back to his hometown just because we're so busy and we have things going on with his job. He works around no women. He only works around men. So who can I share with? A lot of single men who don't have wives and don't, you know, seek health and wellness all the time. So I would not think that he would be my network. Well, I tried. I started tagging him in every single one of my Plexus posts. And I kid you not, I have so many awesome people that I have met through that went to high school with Dakota, went to the community college that he went to, people that he's met through, you know, rodeo and 4-H and FFA and whatever that he was involved in and did. People that he's met through jobs, they've plugged in and gotten in contact with me and said like, hey, I used to work with your husband welding in Tulsa. We see your post. My wife is interested. I don't know these people, but it's the connection through Dakota. So if you have a spouse and they're on Facebook, start tagging them in all of your posts. So just to go over this again, we're talking about friends and networking. We've got friends, relatives, acquaintances, okay, neighbors, kids connection, and your spouse connection. Those are some categories. And if you don't have kids, plug something else in. Church, okay, church connections. Maybe you're very involved in that. Another connection that you might have, maybe you have, okay, replace it with job. Because I'm going to tell you right now, one of my biggest networks has been my job. Biggest. I'm around women and men, but mostly women all day long who are teachers, and we're tired. We are a sucker for a cookie. We are yawning. Y'all, our mood swings are out of whack. There goes days that you go from such a happy to such an angry. Our blood sugar is definitely imbalanced. We don't drink enough water. Cokes are right there to reach, or whatever the case may be. That's a network for me, and it's been really huge. So I challenge you to write down your friends. Go through each category and think of people who are plugged into each and every one. And how can you network with them? And again, I'm not talking knock, knock, knock. Hey, I'm on Plexus. You want to try some? I'm talking about getting in connection with them, networking with them, and being more, you know, close and involved in conversation, maybe inviting them somewhere, having more conversations that you're more aware with instead of just walking past somebody at your kid's park. Sit down and spark the conversation. And when you're done with the conversation, add the sister on Facebook and say, girl, it was so good talking to you. We should meet up again with our kids at the park. I'm always looking for, you know, a kiddo for my son to play with. What time do y'all usually come? Guys, that's not weird. That is not weird at all. There are some, you know, people at church that, you know, you walk past every single Sunday. Well, you know what? Tomorrow, turn and say, hey, I'm Jill. Nice to meet y'all. I've seen y'all been coming a few months. How are you liking it? Awesome. Great. We're really glad to have y'all. Stick around for the potluck lunch or whatever the case may be. And then the next Sunday, start a conversation again and say, you know what, guys, we're always looking for couples to get plugged in with. Would y'all like to go to lunch with us next Sunday after church? Plug in with them. That's not weird. That's networking. That's normal. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not tooting my own horn here by any means, but networking has kind of been a high in my life. I love people. People are happy. I'm a happy place. I love to get to know new people. I'm interested in people's stories. I could talk to a brick wall. My husband could talk to a brick wall. That's probably why we met. We're just like, da, 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 da. Obviously, as I ramble on to you and y'all see all the stuff that I do. But it has been years in networking that has helped me get to where I'm at. When I started Plexus, I wasn't in a shell or a turtle shell. I had friends I went to 2 different colleges. I went to a high school, and then I went to a branch academy in my high school that got me to know more people. I've had multiple jobs, waiting tables, daycares, whatever the case may be. I was in some different management positions where I've got to meet new people and train with people. I have worked at a couple different schools and have got plugged in. My degree program of just student teachers, that's a network in itself. So I've been around people for a long, long time. And I'm not somebody who likes to stay in my turtle shell. I'm not somebody who likes to lay in bed all day and shut people off Facebook and not let them know what's going on. People are my happy. And you might say, well, Jill, I'm not you. People are not my happy. Well, I'm going to tell you, when you are ready to work this and you're ready to get plugged into a network marketing company, you need to start networking. This is huge for your business. Huge. If you're somebody who has deleted every Facebook friend because you didn't want them to know your relationship, or you didn't want them to see your kids, or you didn't get along, or you didn't like high school, or whatever, go back and start rekindling those relationships. Add those people back and be like, hey girl, oh my God, long time no see. You have kids too? Start plugging in with them. Like I said, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I'm not somebody who has never not had to work. I've always worked. So I've met people out in my workplace, which I think has been beneficial. So if you were in a workplace, this is huge for you. Get plugged in. So if you're somebody right now who maybe you only have 200 Facebook friends, you cut yourself off from high school people because you were over it, and you haven't had to work in 3 or 4 years, and it's just you and your kids at home, there are things to do to get plugged in. Girl, make that extra lap around Target a couple times a week. Go to that park, get plugged in. Find a MOPS group, a Mother's Day out. Find an organization for you. Maybe that's free, or $20 a week or $50 a month that you can get your kid plugged in, because this is big for them too, and that you can get plugged in with others. Find a Bible study. Find a church. Find a hobby. Go to that nature trail. Get your baby in that stroller. Get your dog on that leash. Start walking and start talking. The biggest thing for you to do is start talking to people and build relationships. The bigger your relationships go and the bigger your network gets, the more your business will grow, because people are going to see what you're doing. You're going to be genuine and sincere with people. They're going to want to get plugged in and see what you're doing. They're going to ask questions. It's normal. It's typical. They're going to become more interested, and it's going to give you more people to contact when you are out there contacting people. If you're somebody who is, like I said, I'm not targeting any type of group here. I'm just speaking the truth. And it's very true. If you're somebody who sits at home, you haven't left your house in 3 or 4 days, you're strapped, you've got the kiddos, your husband is working, you're home alone, and you are your kid's playmate, and you haven't been involved in things, you're going to have to take a few steps back before you can take a few steps forward, okay? Back meaning go build relationships. Plug that in before you can see your business boom and explode. You can't expect your business to boom and explode when you haven't been booming and exploding with people in a long time, okay? So I'm just letting you know, this is huge for us. We're network marketers. So don't you think networking is important? Absolutely, hands down. You don't have to be this bubbly, outgoing, non-shy person to make this work. No, you just have to build relationships. If you like people and you like, getting to know new people, you're going to do well in this business. So I encourage you, make your friends list. Figure out the categories where you're not plugged in and you don't have people like that. Where could you get plugged in? Okay, what else could you substitute in that category for something else? What are you missing? Like if you looked at that category and you said, okay, I've done this. Ooh, kids connection. I have not sat around and talked to those moms. I have not gotten to know the people at church. Ooh, I have not gotten, plugged in with acquaintances because I don't consider myself having a lot. Maybe it's time to start mingling, okay? Add people on Facebook left and right, not just crazy strangers. I'm talking about when you meet people, add them right then. Get them plugged into your life. Something about being on social media together, we feel like we know each other a little bit more because we see each other's insides and outs, inside their houses, inside their families, outside of things. And it's just really cool to build that network. So if you haven't started networking or you've gotten stuck in your business and you are at a rank and you are stuck and you're saying, but Jill, I'm not growing. If you are stuck and you're saying, oh, I just can't get anybody to buy, your sales aren't growing, I challenge you, look at Frank's, write people's names down, and start building relationships. All right, guys, y'all have a great Saturday.